I'm starting out getting all stuff going. Do Instagram.
I had that old like Chefs de France like loop in my head.
Chefs.
When it starts off like, or like the Paris TV
yeah.
show. It's like do 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 do.
Yeah.
Love that song.
Oh, I love that loop. Yes.
And all that is
God,
we all have all it is like the person who recorded that. Like that's where they hit play or record on it. Like that's where we all got the starting point, bro.
It's so sad. It makes me miss Magical Mouse Radio so much when I hear like tracks like that and you don't think about them, but then when you do, you're like, oh, that's so Epcot or that's so whatever.
Oh, you ready? Hold on.
Don't do it too long because it'll get us delisted.
Yeah.
Off of Facebook.
Well, I got it.
You can't for 2 seconds though.
I know. That's what I was talking about. Like, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
I've toyed with the idea of bringing it back because there is a service that is not terribly expensive, but not yet.
Hang on, I gotta do one thing. I just gotta be able to reach my door. Whoop! Ugh. So
and then you have the other one that's like, what's the other? It's like World Showcase.
All of World Showcase music, just all of it. Makes me. I miss the loop from Adventureland too.
I can't do it now.
What was it? Hold on.
It's. I think it's like France too. It goes.
Why do I not recognize that?
I'm almost there. I'm almost there.
Oh my goodness. Now I have to get comfortable again.
Because today was like all background loops today. I mean,
stop! You're killing me.
But
I played background loop Tuesday.
I played the Resort TV loop today. Like, I just love that one.
I miss background loop Tuesday.
So that is my favorite. Yes.
Okay,
all
right. We're good.
Do.
Yeah, that's
gonna be
good.
stuck in my head this whole time.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Scott. Perfect.
Ba-do. Sorry.
That's all right.
I'm excited.
I see that. Hey, maybe I'll see you.
You might see me.
Okay, good.
Are we on Facebook?
I got a message from Instagram.
Check us on Facebook real quick. Because I got a weird.
Okay, hold on.
I didn't even get a Twitch. Oh, I got Twitch.
Oh, okay.
YouTube. I got a YouTube.
Let me see if it says we're live. We're good.
On Facebook?
Yes.
Okay.
Under Mike Rallman. I don't know about the Be Our Guest podcast though.
Yeah, that's what I want to see for Be Our Guest podcast. Because I see Mike. Wait. Hang on. There's a weird logo like on Be Our Guest podcast up top for some reason. I can't tell what it is.
It does say live though, so I think you're good.
It does show we're live too on that. It's got a green check. I don't know why the logo looks different. It was like that last night too.
Oh,
we had 100 people tuning in.
It's going.
Okay, cool. All right, let's do this. Yeah, that sounds crazy. Craziness.
Michigan State is like playing hoops right now, so guess I'll find out how they do when we end.
That's so weird this time of year. Like I know the Mizzou women played a game at like 11:30 in the morning last week. I was like, wait, they're playing right now? Because like elementary schools were there. It was like a field trip game.
Oh, well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Oh, shoot, UConn went down.
Uh-oh. Dan Hurley's still a coach?
He is.
He's probably.
They're defending back-to-back defending champions. But if we win tonight, and if UConn would have won, we would have played UConn tomorrow. I think
is it a tournament?
Yeah, it's the Maui Invitational.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you should be there.
But now, if we lose to Colorado, we'll probably play UConn. That'd be interesting.
You don't want to lose.
I don't want to lose.
Shout out Mohawk over in Scotland. Hello. Scored. He got a win already this week on the flights. Ding for the flights. All right, let's do this. Let's do questions. We're going to talk Black Friday shopping, world, land, fun. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2597 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you and happy pre-Thanksgiving as we get ready to celebrate the big turkey here tomorrow here in the States. We're getting you ready as you maybe prepare the bird. You can be careful with that. Yeah, prepare the bird, not the other, as you get ready to enjoy the big meal with your friends and family tomorrow.
Stop.
Scott gets it. He's here. This is what we do. We're going to have a good time answering your listener questions here. So if you have a question and you are tuned in live, we have folks tuned in all around the world. Shout out Mohawk over in Scotland who's staying up late with us here. We're having a good time talking Disneyland, Walt Disney World, Disney Cruise Lines. So we have the crew here. We're going to have a good time. Scott's here, even though in reality, as you're listening to the show, he's down checking in at the cabins at Fort Wilderness. We have Scotty G. He's from Must See Adventures on YouTube and at F Scott on the socials. Follow him for all the adventures. What's up, Scott?
Hey, Mike, let me be the first. Let me be the first to wish you a happy birthday on this Wednesday. Happy birthday, Mike.
I know.
Yay, happy
22.
birthday.
I'm feeling 22. Yeah,
You are feeling 22 and you look
Not 22.
not 22.
I feel 89 to be honest. The old creaks. I got the creaks.
I know we get to a certain point in our lives, right, where the birthdays just they're just not the same, right? And I know you had a nice milestone last year. So I hope you're able to relax, watch some football, spend time with family, maybe make a surprise visit to the Walt Disney World to come see me, maybe. But yeah, I hope you have a great birthday, Mike.
Just give me a win over the Hogs on Saturday, and I'll be happy to
There you
finish
go.
up the 9-3 season and get a nicer bowl. At this point, you know, we had hopes for a college football playoff berth, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So now I'm kind of hoping for Las Vegas.
There you go. That'd be awesome.
I'm
But
not
before you introduce,
I'm not a gambler, but they have pretty, neat hotels.
and lots of dining too. I know you like to eat, so.
I mean,
But before you introduced our lovely co-host on this glorious Wednesday, yes, I will be at Walt Disney World. I'm traveling today, so follow me at Upscott. You know I go crazy with all that stuff. We're gonna have a great time at the fort. I hope at the time you're listening to this, if you're listening again, kind of real time-ish when the episode's released, I hope I'm in my golf cart. I hope I'm doing some I don't know. What do you say? Four-wheeling, or it's not four-wheeling, but yeah, just
Go karting around. I don't
go
know.
karting around the fort. That sounds like a fabulous time. So it's very excited for that.
well, it's better that you're four-wheeling rather than like two or three-wheeling.
I know. I mean, actually, I kind of want to be two-wheeling just for fun to see
all
how it
four
goes.
on the ground. Exactly. It'd be if you're two-wheeling, you're going around the corner too fast. Slow
I
down.
know. And then the Disney security
Is
is
there
going
one golf cart,
to
please? Yeah,
we got
exactly.
to revoke my golf cart license.
Yeah, they will.
That's what happened. All right. Also joining us, we have Rikki. She's from the mouseforless.com and a Disney World afterall.com down in Atlanta, Georgia, the suburbs, where the Sugar Hill gang stands.
Actually, I will be on my way to Orlando as well. So yeah,
going down. I mean, somebody's got to keep it in the Midwest. Mike in the
Yeah,
Midwest.
yeah,
has to maintain. What's up?
we have an impromptu kind of trip down to Orlando for Thanksgiving. So yep, we'll be down there too, driving down on Wednesday at some point as well. So yeah, exciting. Looking forward to some time with family on Thanksgiving, and then we're gonna go to Epcot and kick off the Festival of the Holidays, which we're very excited about. Now, last year we did Brian and I, we did this with our friend Marlessa. So we did the cookie stroll last year. And it was a lot of fun. We had a really good time. So I have a video that's going live on Disney World After All. So my social for that. So you can look at, the video of what happened last year during our cookie stroll. And see what we thought of the cookies. And then we'll be doing it again this year, probably on Friday. So you may see if we run into Scott, because I know he'll be there. You may see Scott. We may have
if he ran into you, considering he's got a golf cart.
I mean, that's true. Yeah. So we may film with him. We'll see. We may have you try cookies. But yeah, it was a lot of fun last year to do that. And we're looking forward to doing it this year. Brian and I have already had discussions about this experience, so we're looking forward. You'll have to see my video from last year's experience to see why we've had discussions about it. But yeah, we're looking forward to trying the cookies again this year, so it'll be fun.
I know we got listener questions, but I am a big fan, I gotta just say, of the cookie festival. Like,
Yes.
the stroll, I should say.
The stroll, it's so much fun.
The whole festival as a general, I really like.
Yes.
And one of my greatest eating accomplishments happened at a festival of the holidays, I'll just say. So
Oh,
we did all 6 cookies one
yes.
day. And
That's
I
what we
think-
did.
And I think I stopped by 10 food booths maybe
Oh my
throughout
gosh.
the day,
Okay, yeah, we didn't do that.
and then had dinner at Tepanetto right
Oh
after.
no, that's way too much.
I
How-
don't know how I had room for it.
Yeah, how were you not rolling out of Epcot at that point? I have no idea.
I know, right? And I would just say I love the black and white cookie. Sometimes I
See,
just want to
that-
get 6 of those just to get my completer cookie.
Brian and I, we had that one the year before, and we didn't love that one. So yeah, I know. Hot take.
I was at a bakery in Greektown in Detroit the other day, and it's just a delicious bakery. I saw a black and white cookie, and I held back from the black and white cookie because I
get it,
knew
but-
I was going to get.
Are we talking like a bootleg version of an Oreo? I mean, I don't know what we're talking about. What are we going at? How did the black and white cookie? I mean, you're
No,
acting like
it's a traditionally Jewish cookie. I think
Oh,
they have it.
It is. It's at the Jewish.
because you're making. I
stand, yeah.
love cookies, but you're like acting like this is a normal thing, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
great.
it's more of a
I mean,
traditional.
I'm like
Jewish cookie.
salivating right now because I love cookies.
I
man.
gotta
But-
send you a Seinfeld episode to watch.
Yes, there you go.
Which
But
there.
I think the thing that hit Brian and me was that it was vegan and it needed to not be vegan. I think that was our problem with it. So we would have liked to have been not a vegan cookie, and I think we would have enjoyed it a little bit better. So I think it's vegan again this year too. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy for the vegans that they have something cookie that they can eat, but for us it was a no. But I do want to put out there before I forget. I want to remind everybody, Mike, did you tell everybody last week, because I told you to, about the you did? Okay, perfect.
But,
So
but give the final call because it's coming
Yes,
into the wire here.
this is the end of the calls. So we do our Be Our Guest annual ornament exchange and holiday card exchange, and the deadline is coming up like right now for both of those. So the deadline for the holiday card exchange is on the 30th, so that would be Saturday, and the deadline for the ornament exchange is going to be the day after, which is going to be on the 1st of December. But you might as well send the email now and just, get it all taken care of. We have 2 wonderful helpers who help us every year. Florence does the holiday card exchange, and then Michelle does the ornament exchange. And all the details are on the Be Our Guest socials. So search for us and you'll find all the details. I've got it pinned on Facebook too. So if you are, on Facebook, that's the easiest way to find it. But yeah, it's a great experience. We love doing it every year. It is, we just put up our tree over the weekend, and pulling out all the ornaments from the past few years. Well, the past, forever. It's what's this is the 16th annual. So yeah, for the past 15 years, I pulled out ornaments, 15 different ornaments. And it's such a cool experience. So getting to share ornaments with people from around the world, and getting to share cards with people from around the world too. So yeah, it's a really, really great time, and we'd love for you to participate. So, hit up those 2 lovely ladies and get on the lists.
There you go. And Michelle usually emails me like, Mike, are you doing it again this year? And I'm like, yes, I am. I forgot to email you. But she doesn't do that for everybody else. So
just Mike, because he's I already emailed Michelle asking her to put me on the list. So
I always do it, but I get busy and I forget. But she doesn't.
I gotta send my email too, and then I always do 2, so I can go buy 2 ornaments from Bronner's. That's my tradition. So
nice.
if you get me, you're gonna get a Bronner's authentic ornament.
Ooh.
I sometimes go to Shop Disney, but we'll see. All right, so let's answer listener questions. That's why we're here. That's why we're gathered. And Matt's
10 minutes in. Let's answer some questions.
Yay!
And Matt is out in New Jersey, where I bet you they have awesome Thanksgiving. Speaking of Thanksgiving, hey everyone, I'm going on a trip in March, and we're gonna have 11 people in our party. For 3 to 4 meals, it'll be all of us at a table service restaurant. What do you think of the best restaurants to accommodate large parties? I also plan to split up our party when I make reservations using my account and my father-in-law's account. For reference, we're only going to Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios. We're staying at the Grand Floridian, and we already plan on going to almost every restaurant there. Any tips or advice would be greatly appreciated. Thanks, Matt, in Somerset County, New Jersey. Best restaurants for large parties. We're going to take Grand Floridian out of the equation, even the Grand Floridian Cafe. Great spot. Love that place. Also, you like all the fancy places. Scotty G would go with all those.
Narcoossee's, baby.
And
I will say they will split you up in Narcoossee's. You can do that. So you want the separate ADRs, but the way the restaurant is laid out, it's near impossible to get a large table. So you will be at multiple tables at Narcoossee's if all 11 of you are going there.
All right, so let's give our best recommendation for a good, solid restaurant for a large party. Rikki, you can lead us off. Ladies first.
So I'm gonna do, because they have the 3 different parks. So I'm gonna go with one that I think would be really fun for their entire family. And that's gonna be at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and that's gonna be 50's Primetime Cafe. I feel like they can definitely seat you guys, if not at the same table, they can seat you near each other, which would be a lot of fun. Hopefully you'd have the same server. If not, you know, you'd have 2 different servers. But the idea that you're having a family dinner in a family spot just feels like the best kind of experience for me. So that's going to be my big suggestion, is to do 50's Primetime Cafe. All
righty, Scotty G, let's give another suggestion.
So I've always found, like, for large groups that buffets work really well, so that, like, if everyone's not ready to order at the same time, or like everyone's like kind of mingling, like if people can get up and go as they want to grab more food and all that. So I'm going to go with a buffet. And if we're sticking to the parks that they're going to, the Crystal Palace all the way for me. You got the characters. It's just a fun energy. Like, I'm assuming there's going to be like a lot of generation age gaps here with this group of 11. So I think the Crystal Palace would be an outstanding one. But you will need to do multiple ADRs. Maybe grab a 6 and grab a 5 and just try to get there early and ask them, hey, we're 2 groups. If we can try to be seated close together, that'd be great. And I think that will work out really well for you.
So you guys threw in Studios and Magic Kingdom. I'm going to throw in Epcot. Kind of the same thing Scott said. I'm going to go Beer Garden.
I knew you were going Beer Garden.
It's a great spot, and it's an easy ADR to snag. Everybody can sit together. It's like bench seating. You can sit with other people. I mean, but you all be together, obviously. And again, you get a little entertainment. It's like one of those, you go in, it's like you're sitting in a little village. It's a snapshot of old Epcot. And it is really, really good. It's got great desserts. People don't talk about that. It's reasonably affordable. I mean, it's one of the more affordable, like, sit-down meals. It's so underrated to me. I mean, you gotta, there's lots of meats and potatoes and stuff, but if you like that kind of food, and I've talked to Matt, he's been on the show. Actually, he'll be on the show this coming Monday. He's our guest, but it's a great little just piece of World Showcase. And I think it's the essence of what World Showcase used to be. You know, if like you look at an old planning video, it's exactly what they sell. And so I'm going to go Beer Garden. Now let's do this real quick. Just a quick exercise. One in a resort. Give a resort large party. Because I would go with Whispering Canyon over, because they're at Grand Floridian. You could just easily get across Seven Seas Lagoon there. Whispering Canyon's a lot of fun. That's a good one for large groups. Rikki,
so I initially had my initial one was a resort, and I'm going to stick with my buffet thing because I think that really does work well for large parties. And I'm heading over to Animal Kingdom Lodge to Boma. I think that is a great large party. Whether you're going to do breakfast or dinner, I think you can get some long tables together, sit close by each other. It's just a great large party option for me.
That's a good call. I mean, at least we'll give them, 6 good options to think about. This. Rikki, you got another one?
I hate you for taking such a good option. Dang it.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's fine.
Well, Matt, now you know that's a really good option.
It's a really good option. And
one year we did it at all of us did. I was on New Year's Eve.
Yes,
I remember.
We Boma. Yeah,
and the Foresters were with us. We had a table of 12, I think, or something crazy like that.
Dude, we had a ton of people that night. We might have had 20 people that night.
Because it was a lot of us.
That's the night we went to Epcot. Did New Year's Eve, right?
Yes.
I remember when I got the bill that night.
Yeah.
Dude, they almost had to bring out the defibrillator after that, because I was like, it's how much for 4 of us?
And there's no characters?
Oh my, it was so expensive on New Year's Eve. Oh man,
Matt, it's still great. I mean, it's still great. You got to do it.
New Year's favorite buffet. Expensive, man. Oh man.
Well, I don't think they have that surcharge anymore. They used to. too. They don't do the surcharge anymore. It's just one flat price. They just have it all the time. Yeah. So, all right. So if you want to do like another character meal, I'm gonna suggest maybe do Chef Mickey's. That is one that you will want to have the defibrillator ready, though, for sure.
Matt, exactly.
Yeah. Ask me how I know, because I paid for my entire family for my 40th birthday. So yeah, that was fun.
You trying to kill your husband? You're trying to be a widower.
It was all his idea.
It's your birthday. Shouldn't they be paying for you?
No, Brian did it so that he would pay for the whole family. It was very nice of him because he was trying to do it for me so that the whole family would be able to eat together. All right, so that's gonna be my one option. The other one, I think, is gonna surprise everybody here that I'm gonna suggest it, but I'm gonna actually suggest Olivia's. I think Olivia's would be I think that would be a really good choice. We've had some great meals there as a group together with a large party. Yeah, there you go.
It's so awesome. Quit showing it off.
Sitting outside is a lot of fun there. I think Olivia's is going to be an underrated choice for that purpose, and I'm going to go with that. I see you guys didn't go with it, and I did.
We're not allowed to at this point because we're
that's true.
It's like Scott picking the line.
I mean, I've been there 27 times. So I probably shouldn't.
We can't
all the time.
We can't at this point pick Olivia's. It's just people like shut up. So we didn't go there. All right, we have another question. It's from Kylie. Kylie says, "Hey, Mike, I'm a new listener. Thank you for joining us. It's great to have new listeners here. It's awesome because maybe people both for a long time." Says, "I'm a new listener and planning a trip for this coming February with my husband and 2 young kids. My son is 5 and my daughter is 2. This past February, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. After months of targeted treatment, major surgery, and 12 weeks of chemo, I'm happy to report that I'm cancer-free. We are
Mike, ring that bell.
Celebrate. I know. Give me a chance.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yes.
I'm reading. I got to turn to hit the bell button.
No, you got to hit. I would have hit the bell as soon as she said cancer-free.
I know. I was going to. I even hit the horn.
There we go.
But I mean, I'm trying to be the producer and the talent at the same time. This is hard. You know, most shows have like 6 people doing what I'm doing here. I got a flashing Christmas tree. It's getting dark.
Well, that's your fault.
I'm trying to do it all, but we're super happy for Kylie. Give me,
yes.
Come on. My grandma was, had breast cancer and we were with her fight too. So I know we've been through this. After an incredibly tiring year, Disney with 2 toddlers is probably not the most relaxing vacation.
Facts.
Statement of 2024 right there on the show. She just nailed it. What are your tips for traveling with young kids, but still making the trip feel like a vacation for adults? Also, is there one big thing you think we should do to celebrate? Kind of a YOLO activity. I like it. YOLO. Yeah. You only live once. FYI, we're staying
Premier lightning lane pass. No.
Yes, right. No.
Oh, dude. Again. Yeah, I mean, I guess it is. She says, FYI, we're staying for 5 days, park hopper tickets, and staying at Caribbean Beach. Thank you so much, Kylie. First of all, Kylie, we're so happy for you. That is just awesome. We are more than excited for that. All right. So first of all, let's hit her first question. Tips for traveling with the youngsters, but still making it feel like a vacation for the adults. God, I haven't had little kids in a long time, but Rikki, you do.
I do.
Good. So you go. We're settling in.
Rikki had it good for research purposes for the podcast.
Yeah, that's exactly. You guys aged out, so I'm like, all right, I guess it's my turn.
I'm not gonna get a car, not ever see her. Like, just go to work.
Yeah. No, I'm going through this obviously right now. The perk that I have is my family lives down there. So I only get to bring my daughter to the parks for like one day, and then the other days are taken over by grandma and grandpa because they will not basically let me take her. So they're like, no, you leave her here and you guys go to the parks. And so I'm like, all right, well, guess Brian and I are having a date day at the
golf
park.
Carts, the Villages is the golf cart capital of the world, but go ahead.
Yeah, I believe that. So but the one thing that I'm learning, with Lucy, she's almost 2 at this point. She's not quite there yet, but the meal times are definitely the more strenuous experiences for us right now. So I'm gonna not suggest meals long drawn out meals. I think that will probably be a little more difficult. So I'm really going to suggest that you kind of stick with counter service meals, which I know isn't the best celebration type thing, but for your sanity, trust me, I think it's going to be a better option for you. Long meals with Lucy are just torturous. Thank goodness for Encanto, because whenever we start to finally freak out, I just put on Encanto and we're good. So thank goodness for that. But yeah, I think that that's going to be key. I think taking, breaks is going to be key too as well, because obviously you got the little ones, they're getting naps. So hey, you may need a nap too. Apparently I need one as well. But
you're yawning, so we can tell
yeah,
you.
I didn't have enough coffee today, as I literally pounded a venti Starbucks.
You're like a method actor here. Like you're feeling it too hard that you have a toddler.
We're talking about sleeping, and I'm getting sleepy. So yeah, I'm definitely going to suggest to take the breaks in the middle of the afternoon around their regular nap time for naps, or just relaxing at the pool or whatever, just to kind of get away, and then go back later in the afternoon, and then the evening. And I do bring Lucy into the parks in the evening. I just put her in the stroller and push her around, and she'll eventually fall asleep. So there's that. But yeah, I mean, we have a really good time with Lucy when we get to bring her. Just go at their pace, which is going to be key. You're not going to be, winning the theme park awards by hitting the most attractions ever. Child swap is going to be your friend for sure, especially with a 5-year-old. So make sure that you speak with the cast member for some of those attractions that you may need to utilize that on at the front, and they'll be able to help you and assist you with that. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely, we'll see. I'm telling you right now, I don't even know if I'm going to get to bring my daughter into the park on Friday or not. So she may be staying with grandma and grandpa because I may not have the ability to. So, but yeah.
What I would add to this is, one, with kids 5 and 2, don't be surprised if these two things are their favorite things of the trip. And this might be disappointing because you're paying all this money for theme park tickets. The swimming pool at Caribbean Beach,
True.
which is awesome because it's like pirate themed. So they'll probably love that, both the 5 and the 2-year-old, and the Skyliner. The Skyliner is transportation, but for a 5 and a 2-year-old, that might be their favorite ride of the entire trip. And don't fight it. Just ride it. If they want to ride it, go back and forth to the studios, take that longer hop over to Epcot and back, and because you're not going to have to wait in line for that, except right at the rope drop in the morning, and let them swim at the pool. There's that drop bucket. The thing is, and let them take naps, and go to the parks obviously and enjoy it, but in small bursts.
Yes,
so that's what I would say. But Scott, what about a YOLO kind of experience? Because the adults want to have fun too, with the younger kids. What do you think? How do you balance that?
I know it's tough. And first, I want to just congratulate Kylie. Way to go, battling cancer. You're like my hero over here. So very good job there. So I wrote down something, and the two of you might oh yeah, that's a good idea. But then everyone's kids are different, and she said 5 and 2. So I don't know how a 2-year-old handles fireworks really, and some adults can't handle fireworks. But I like the idea of a firework cruise because I think it's a cool experience and a way to just celebrate all your accomplishments. So I was kind of thinking that, but that might not be for everyone in the whole family, the dynamic there. So what I came up with something I never even thought of before. And it's not just you have to do it at a Disney thing, but I was just thinking do something for you. You just did this amazing thing. I'm thinking go to a nice shop on the Magic Kingdom area and find a nice piece of jewelry or something and just buy yourself a reward for all the accomplishments that you just made. And then when you look back at it, or you wear whatever that piece of jewelry is, or a clothing item, whatever it is, it'll make you think of 2024 and the battle that you did. So I just think a nice souvenir for yourself.
I think that's such a great idea, Scott. And let me kind of piggyback onto that. What if, she had her husband take the kids and she went maybe got a massage or something like that?
I like that.
I feel like that could be a really good option as well. Treat yourself. I feel like that's really great because she's definitely been through a lot. And I feel like, they've got some great great spas at Disney. So you've
I
got
did
your
one Grand
choice.
Floridian that one time after the marathon. I was a fish out of water, but they're fancy. They are
Yeah,
nice.
they're nice. Yeah,
They're
nice.
got that for me. Yeah, and also this is a trip I would add memory maker to capture.
Oh, for sure.
Because the kids are 5 and 2, man. As a parent who the kids grew up way too fast, like you want to capture those memories. And speaking of that, maybe if you want to splurge, do the capture your moment photo session with the kids.
Ooh,
That'd be
good idea.
and really, get that photo session while you're there because it's a special moment in time. It's a celebration. Really grab it. That'd be a good thing to do.
I'm doing one of those this week.
Ooh, fun.
Senior pictures.
Senior
pictures round 4, I think. This is like we've done so many of them. We were like, oh, we might as well do a Disney one too.
I love it. That's great.
Love that. And Veronica down in Florida says, we took my niece and nephew, ages 6 and 8 at the time, to Caribbean Beach, and we didn't touch the parks. The pool's amazing, and they love the Skyliner. We did the boardwalk and walked around Art of Animation. So right there,
Nice.
yeah, exactly. I mean, the kids are going to like that. I mean, I'm a big kid, and I consider the Skyliner the first ride to get to the rides. I mean, it really is. The monorail the same way. It's an attraction in itself. All right, Jennifer, who is in the Westplex, the best part of the country, says, "Hi, HBD Mike. I'm using."
Happy birthday.
I know. I don't you think I know that. I was just being cool. I was being cool there, Ricky. I was trying to slide it right
HBD.
through HBD, baby. HBD.
Weirdo.
I'm using. You're a weirdo. I'm using an after 1 convention ticket at Epcot. Is there still a 1 p.m. Guardians VQ? Ricky, that would be a virtual queue.
Virtual queue, yeah, exactly.
Just letting you know that.
Okay.
Trying to decide if I should use multipass or try for the queue. Thanks, THX. Just letting you know there. Ricky, what about the virtual queue status for Guardians, which would be Into the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind?
Thank you. Got it. As much as it pains me to say, unfortunately, they are still using the virtual queue for Guardians, and there is a 1 o'clock drop. I wish they'd get rid of it, but at this point, it's still happening. So the problem is if you can't get in until after 1, you might not be able to take advantage of the drop because you have to be in the park at that point. And you never know how fast Guardians is going to go for that 1 o'clock drop. I mean, sometimes it goes in 2 seconds. Sometimes it takes, a couple hours. It just really depends on the day. So if it's something that you absolutely want to make sure that you don't miss out on, I would absolutely get the Lightning Lane for that one. I wouldn't skip that. I would make sure you had that in your pocket. That way, you're definitely not going to miss Guardians.
So I'm trying to think though, could you wait till you get could you wait to see if you can get the virtual queue, and then if you can't buy it after?
I mean,
or is it like too late at that point? You have to buy it before.
I don't know how quick it sells out.
It would probably sell out.
Yeah,
you said the thing you would buy it
could, depending on the time of year.
Yeah, so she didn't say
because that's still a single. That's still a single pass one, right? Yeah. So that's not part of the. That's not part of the multi-pass. So she'd have to buy that one single. So I would assume that would probably sell out, but that's just a guess by me.
Is it still selling out? For some reason, I thought Cosmic Rewind was one of those that's not selling out. Why am I thinking that?
I kind of want to look right now at the time we're recording.
I know, right?
But I have a question for you guys. I know it's listener questions, and I am a listener technically.
You are.
So
I do listen.
So taking this question, I'm going to kind of combine both. So Mike's birthday, Guardians of the Galaxy. So as we said, to kick off the show, I'm traveling down on Mike's birthday, and my goal is to get a Guardians virtual queue. Now, say if they didn't do the virtual queue anymore. So this is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. What do you think the line, the standby wait times would be for this ride right now? I mean, it's been around. Yeah, summer 22 has been around 2.5 years. What do you think the standby wait would be
for Cosmic Rewind in what, like the Thanksgiving week?
Yeah, like on Wednesday. Yeah, well, the day the show drops.
So the day the show drops, I bet you the Cosmic Rewind standby would be 2 hours.
I don't think it's like 150. I was going to go one. I was going to go.
I go 150. I go 120. Yeah, maybe because it loads pretty quickly. It's got a big capacity. That's the only thing it's got going for it. But
yeah,
it gets a ton of people through. But I go between. I'd say like at peak that day, 120 to 150 is what I would.
What do you think, Rikki?
I'm. You know what? It's a good question, and I'm kind of trying to cheat right now. So I'm looking at
We need to do
Rise
another
the
one of our shows where we do the greater than or less than. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking. Okay, so I'm looking at Rise the Resistance right now, and Rise the Resistance I feel like is the best, like closest indicator. So Rise right now is at a 90-minute wait. So I would say at the very least it would be probably 2 hours at the very least.
Easily, because there's more things to do in the studios than there is at Epcot from a thrill level. So.
True, but you also have the problem of the fact that Guardians has not been a anything but virtual queue, so it hasn't had a standby queue ever yet. So as soon as they roll it out, you're going to have a huge influx of people who want to take advantage of that attraction because they haven't been able to. You know, it's been such a challenge to try to get. So, I mean, there's still people, I mean, I'm sure there's still people that haven't ridden it yet, just because even in those 2 years, because they can't get the virtual queue. So I'm going to say that at minimum, it's going to be a 2-hour wait. And with it being the holiday, I would say 2.5 hours. Yeah, that's going to be
guess.
Okay,
that's going to be my guess.
Let's go down another side tangent real quick. I'm just curious. What is the longest posted wait time you've ever seen at a Disney attraction? Like you've personally seen, like not like a picture on social media, like
No.
and like seen it, because I know, because I couldn't believe it.
I think mine has to be Flight of Passage.
10 years ago. Okay, what was?
Yes.
I think I've seen like 180 for Flight of Passage in person.
I can
What's
beat that.
You can beat that.
I know what yours is, Mike.
I've seen 240 for Soarin' on New Year's Eve one year.
Oh, okay, that's
240?
240 because it was like 7 something. I'm like, if you get in this line now,
Yes.
you are not going to see New Year's Eve. Like
I might have been with you with that actually. Maybe
it was Soarin', and it was almost like 10 years ago. It was crazy. I was like, there's no way. I mean, because there's no way. This was like in the Pass days, I think.
Oh yeah. So you're 240.
I have a picture.
That's I saw 240 on New Year's Eve at Flight of Passage. And luckily I did not at the time. I had some passes that would allow me to skip the line. So they weren't fast passes, but they were the readmit passes. And so I was very nice, and I was by myself, and I could bring in I think it was like up to three guests with me. So I went to the very end of the line, went and grabbed people at the end of the line and took them with me so that they would be able to ride and didn't have to wait the 4 hours. So yeah.
I just went up and took a picture and I said, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna go see.
I created a little bit of magic for some people because
think about how many times you could ride Living with the Land during that 240 minutes. Just saying.
Well, I saw today though that they actually have on the sign where you get in line for Living with the Land, it says Glimmering Greenhouse.
It does. That's awesome.
Giving it some love.
They are.
Right at Walt Disney World. Thank God. That's awesome. All right, Aaron's got a question. Let's get back to task here. Hey, Mike, love your show. Been listening since COVID, and I'm hooked. There we go. I mean, you know, one thing good had to come out of COVID is that Aaron got hooked on our podcast. Love it. Anyway, my family and I are going on an epic back-to-back cruise in May, but a 4-night on the Disney Wish, and then a 3-night on Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas. It's like we're merging here, Scott.
Nice.
Like Royal. Actually, I did this back on a podcast cruise, right? I did a 5-night on the Dream podcast cruise. Then I did a 7-night on the Freedom of the Seas. And I'm doing exactly what she's doing actually here. She says we disembark from Disney in Port Canaveral at 8 a.m. and then board Utopia in Port Canaveral around noon. It's exactly what we did. We just walked right off the Dream and got on Freedom of the Seas. What are some things to do for about 4 to 5 hours in Port Canaveral before boarding Royal? Will we have time to explore? We have a rental car, so we will have that freedom. Thanks, BOGP crew. Aaron, happy Thanksgiving. So really, you don't have that much time by the time you get off. And so Cocoa Beach is a really cool place. I mean, if you have time, I love Cocoa Beach, but I'm also a space nut, and I love like Mercury, Apollo, Gemini, like that era. And there's a lot, if you research, like we stayed in a hotel that was a really rundown, not nice hotel, but I stayed there one night before a cruise just because the original like Mercury astronauts at one time owned it. And I think it's like a a days in now or something. But there is like a memorial there that says the Mercury astronauts did own this at one time. Like you can get your picture by it. But it was, my wife was not happy. She was not happy that we stayed there instead of Walt Disney World. But I was like, but Pam, like John Glenn owned this, like with like Scott Carpenter. And she's like, I don't care. Like there's like cockroaches. I'm like, but Scott Glenn, John Glenn and Scott, I don't care. And like I ran out on Cocoa Beach and there's signs like I Dream a Genie was like filmed here. She's like, I don't care. Like, who cares, dude? We could have been at Riverside. So, it was not a good day. But you could go to like Cocoa Beach Surf Company, you can go to Ron John's. I mean, there's all kinds of fun stuff you could explore, but in reality, you don't have as much time as you think when you're making that transfer from one ship to the other. They are right. The terminals are right next to each other, but there is a lot of like logistics of getting your luggage and then checking in for the next cruise. I don't know, Scott, do you have any thoughts on that? I think time goes a lot quicker on those things than you think.
I think time flies by so quick, and I wouldn't want to chance anything like that. I mean, maybe there's time after, like before your first sailing, or maybe after the second one. But like, I think just hang out in that port area. Like as Mike said, it's going to go by quick. Royal Caribbean, like I don't know. I mean, I don't know how like lenient they are at Port Canaveral to their onboarding times, or maybe you can board a little earlier too, perhaps. So I would just leave the Disney Wish and then make my way over to where Utopia is and maybe just wait a little bit.
Now, here's one thing I might do. Now, here's the tragedy of it all, right? Because I'm cheap, right? And I'm not going to pay for a meal, but what I might do, one of my favorite restaurants is in Titusville. And it's right down the road. And it's called Dixie Crossroads. And they have something called rock shrimp. And it is so good. It's like look it up. It's called Dixie Crossroads. Look it up. It's like famous. It's a great restaurant in Titusville. Man, I'm telling you, it's huge. It's a big restaurant right on. It's crazy when you pull up to it because it's like a place they added on and added on and added on. But man, they have good food there. I'd be tempted maybe to drive over there, but I don't even know if it's open that early in the day though, because you got to get on the ship so early. So probably not. But maybe just drive up and down A1A or something. I don't know.
But Aaron, that sounds like it's going to be an awesome trip, though. I like the idea of the back to back.
Oh yeah,
get to see a couple different ships. So
enjoy experiences too, like the Wish and the Utopia.
Utopia, I know,
huge.
But you're sailing like two pretty brand new ships. I mean, that's kind of cool. I mean, the Wish is still like new to me, So that.
Absolutely. All right. So if you have questions, again, just drop them in the inbox, mike@brguestpodcast.com for next week's show. Carl had a little feedback on that show we did on transitions a few weeks back. He says his favorite transition in the parks was the one that's within a ride. And speaking of soaring, he liked the one on Soaring Over California where there's a transition in the Old West where the music changes to the in that section where the cowboys are. And it's the music, because we talked about how the music is like really kind of the focus a lot of these transitions. And he said the music changes to that Western style as you fly over the cowboys. And did you know, fun fact, that the cowboys are the same cowboys in both versions of Soarin', the old version, and they got the cowboys for the new version too.
I did not.
Yeah, it's the same three cowboys.
And I missed that soundtrack though.
Dude, I know
that score is so good.
They nailed it with the sword score. And by the way, they just fixed the Leaning Tower.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, it's fixed.
I'm curious about that. Yeah, because what did they do? Like, they made like a super wide shot, I think is what they did. So you don't.
Yeah, I think that's what they did.
They didn't get it close. Yeah, exactly. So that you don't lose that bendy bend. Which is.
I just wish.
Now you don't get to see the old Epcot though. The old Future World's gone. Now they're showing the new Epcot.
Oh, okay.
I wish they would do. This is just a Disney fan speaking here. Like what they used to do with the old movie ride. R.I.P. I miss that so much too. But you go on there and you wouldn't know if you're going to get the cowboy or the gangster. Yes! I would love to just show up to Soarin' and like, which version am I going to get?
That would be fun.
Am I going to get California or World? Like, and then they could make more. They could do other ones too.
Again, this is how they sold us on Toy Story Mania, right? I mean, when it was like pre-production, they said, "Oh, we're going to change the games."
They did.
It's like we're going to put in a new video game for you every once in a while, and like I was like, that seems reasonable. Like it's videos, right? It can't be that hard. And How long's that attraction been around? We haven't got
And I
any
know,
of
like, I know you can't alternate in the same theater because the mechanism has to be aligned for the video, right? Because like the movements are gonna be different. But just have Concourse A be
Yes.
World for today, Concourse B be California, and C is gonna be Lansing, Michigan. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Westplex.
That's what it should be.
Soaring over St. Charles. Welcome to St. Charles. We're gonna fly over the Big Muddy.
I remember on social media someone was like, "Oh yeah, they should do a soaring over Florida." I'm like, that'd just be boring. It'd just be swamps and like flatland. It's like
See Billy Napier taking out LSU or Ole Miss.
Soaring over college football stadiums.
You're gonna sign me up for that. Soaring over the SEC.
Don't sign me up for that. But you can have some SEC in there, but yeah.
Exactly. I mean, some people would. Anyway,
right. I mean, I know you have to make a film, but like you already have 2 films made, right? Like alternate them out.
That would be great. Yeah.
And we talked about this on Sunday night we had tons of callers and it was lit up because we talked Muppets and Monsters and all that stuff. But that's such an underutilized theater right there in imagination that you could turn that into a jewel. Like,
for sure.
Use it for Muppet Vision 3D when they get rid of that. Bring back Captain EO. Bring back Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. Like all these old, you could bring back Food Rocks and all these things that people are pining for. I mean, instead of it being just underused, like it could be.
I don't even know what it is right now. Is it still like Get a Horse and stuff?
Yes. Yeah.
Which Get a Horse is great, mind me. Like I love that. But
at this point, it's so overdone, and you can it just needs to be replaced. I still think they should do an Inside Out 3D show in there. I think that would be again. It wouldn't be hard to fix. It would be easy to update. They could do it next year. Inside Out did so well. You could even throw in, some of the newer characters from Inside Out too. I think that if they announce this, it would be like tomorrow. It would be hugely popular. So, I mean, I'm still throwing that out there. Inside Out, put it in.
Could you? Yeah, Jason's in here. Could you see the tears that would go down like a certain segment of the population's face if like that score hit? And it's going like over like the big house in Michigan or something, or over Bryant Denny Stadium, like everybody's getting their little, oh my God, my heart's stopping right now.
It would just be so cool. I mean, we got to end this with the sports. I know, but like, if you like went through like the tunnel, like where the team comes running out of, and like, and then you shoot up over the 50-yard line or something like, oh man.
I need ice in my trousers right now. He got to stop. This is too much. You're killing me here, man. Okay, we got to wrap this show up.
Yep, please do. Please, dear God.
I mean, happy birthday to you, Mike.
Yes. I don't even.
You are getting old.
I don't even know what to say about that. Let's
this
just go.
Too much. All right, we got to get out of here, but we're going to be back on Friday talking Black Friday shopping. We're going to talk about our favorite stores, the small places that we like to shop, even the big stores around Walt Disney World and Disneyland, the resorts, the theme park shops, and all those places. We love to buy the merch because that's what it's all about on Friday, even though nowadays you don't have to leave the house. But back in the day, you used to have to do that. All right. If you have a question for next week's show, Mike at BeOurGuestPodcast.com. Don't forget, we're brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan a great vacation here for 2025 or even for the end of 2024. Just swing by the magicforless.com today. No additional cost to you. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link as you do that Black Friday shopping this weekend. Just go to BeOurGuestPodcast.com/Amazon. That really does support us and it helps us out a bunch. Also, please support us on Patreon. It's patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. $5 a month is all it costs, and you get a bonus show every week. It's called Mike in the Midwest. It's a lot of fun, a lot of nostalgia over there. So coming over, we'd love to have you at patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Sunday night, Scott will be at Walt Disney World. Rikki will be at Walt Disney World. Mike will be here in the studio with you. So join me Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. We'll be taking your calls. We'll talk more Munsters and Muppets and who knows what could happen between here and there. I mean, hopefully not. I mean, everybody should just be chill and eating turkey, but who knows? So give me a call Sunday night, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. We'll have a good time with that. And you can catch us all. I'm at, I'm at Be Our Guest Mike on the socials. Rikki's at Rikki Nibs. Scott's at Scott. And we'll be checking in. And of course, Rikki and Scott follow them because they'll be having more fun on their socials than I probably will. I'll just be watching football and I'll be at the zoo on Saturday. All right, so we are going to get out of here. We'll be back again on Friday. Hope you will be too. But until we get back together again, for all of our friends here in the States, you guys have a happy Thanksgiving and safe travels to Rikki and Scott. So until we get back together again, have a good one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and gobble, gobble. All right. I probably should have said
Gobble, gobble.
I probably shouldn't have said put ice down my trousers, but I'm going to say.
Probably not.
No.
I'm hungry. I wasn't thinking.
Do you need to eat before we do this next
That was,
episode?
that was a choice. That was a choice I wouldn't go with.
Festival.
That was a choice.
Why are all my favorite shops at resorts?
Mine too.
I gotta think of a couple. I try to like bring balance when we do these games, so I'm trying to. Where else could I go?
I have a few like in the parks, so that's good.
I mean, kids don't know what trousers are, so we're
I
good.
like this one.
Yeah, I don't know how dumb you think kids are, but they're not that dumb.
Oh, it's been a day. It's holiday week, man. See, look, I didn't have my pudding today.
I didn't eat my snack today. This is still sitting here for me. So
I need my Taco Bell.
they have Mexi Melts again, and I'm so happy. So
I know. Well, I get my tostada and my 70s green burrito.
Mexi Melts.
Oh man, Mike, don't say something stupid during the show. At least it's a holiday week and the numbers will be down. Okay.
Oh, so I can say something stupid?
No, don't say something stupid.
Yes, let's go.
At least if we're gonna get canceled, at least it'll be my fault. Last week, you guys don't know this. Last week we got delisted off of Apple Podcasts for like a little bit. It wasn't our fault. It was something Podbean did. But man, I didn't.
You must have been freaking
I
out.
didn't go to sleep for 24 hours because I was working on it the whole time.
Oh my god.
No, Podbean did something to our feed and it got taken off of Spotify and Apple everywhere. And I was
Oops.
with them for 24 hours, but they finally fixed it.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad they fixed it.
Oh my god, it was a nightmare. Ask Pam. I was freaking out. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. It's Friday, Black Friday. Welcome to episode 2599 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're chilling out today and enjoying what might be the best eating day of the year. I know a lot of people say it was yesterday, but nay. I say it could be today. The leftovers are where it's at, unless you happen to be where Rikki and Scott are. But hey, I still say where I'm at today is a pretty good spot. I'm going to have a plate full of leftovers and just watching college football all day long. So not a bad consolation prize. But today we are here. You can take the show with you wherever you go today. And if you're out shopping, does anybody do that anymore? Our show's been around so long that people used to take this show to camp out, to get the Wii. I mean, we're old, but we're going to have a good time talking best places to shop at Walt Disney World and Disneyland, our favorite little stores. So joining me today, it's funny. We could be in two places at once due to podcasting. Your friend and mine, hashtag Scotty G. Scott, checking in from the fort virtually. What's up?
Happy Friday from Fort Wilderness. You say today is the best eating day of the year.
Good one.
And I will be eating at Hoop-de-Doo. So I can't argue with that. Like, it's going to be a good eating day for sure.
I love Hoop-de-Doo. I mean, the show is Americana. I mean, but the food's better. The show's great, but the food's better.
Yeah. I'm excited. Like, it's funny. Like, one of my Disney regrets, we all have some Disney regrets, right? But one of mine is I waited 10 years to go to Hoop-de-Doo. Like, our first trip was in 2011 First time we went was 2022, and we went that summer. It was a great time. I went for spring break this year, and my next trip, bam, I'm going back again. I'm going back-to-back trips. That's how much I enjoy that show. It's just so good. I really love it.
That's a great question. Okay, so let's get Rikki in here. Rikki, she's from a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com and the Mouse for Less. Check her out on the socials. Happy Black Friday, Rikki. Rikki, real quick though, off the top, do you have a situation where there's something that you discovered you regret way too late in the scheme of things when it comes to Disney? I'm trying to think of, because I know I have lots that I was like,
oh, I have more than just the one.
Well, yeah, exactly.
My biggest one is.
I mean, I have also never done Hoop-de-Doo.
Never done Hoop-de-Doo?
I have not.
Want to join us?
It is Brian's birthday the next day. So first of all, let me say happy birthday to my husband.
HBD.
Who, yes, HBD. Yes. His birthday is tomorrow, Saturday. So happy birthday, Brian. And yeah, I mean, we don't have any plans, so never know. I'm sure he'd like Hoop-de-Doo.
So I'm just gonna. Sorry to interrupt. Now I feel like a jerk because I didn't wish Liz happy birthday for yesterday.
HBD Liz.
Yay!
We're all covered here. Yeah.
All the birthdays. Yeah, exactly. I feel like one of mine probably I need to get in here before it closes. I've never done on the Melrose, so I feel like that might be one of my regrets. I should probably get in there before that actually closes officially, because we're pretty. I mean, it's definitely closing. What is something that I got in late on? That's a really good question. I feel like Beer Garden, like we mentioned before, that's one that I got in really late on. We just did it for Brian's first Father's Day last year, and we'd never done it before because I'm not the biggest on German food, but he's like part German, so I was like, all right, for Father's Day, I'll take you here. That's actually one of the places I'm considering taking him for his birthday. Is actually Beer Garden. So yeah, I'm gonna say my like late coming thing is Beer Garden, but I feel like I need more time to think about this one. But
I know, me too. Off the top of my head,
yeah.
Off the top of my head, what I would say for mine would be staying at Coronado Springs. Like there was probably 10 years where I just never ever thought about Coronado Springs for so many reasons, because guidebooks presented Coronado like it was like in some outpost. I don't know why, but like I swear that the guidebooks made Coronado Springs feel like it was an Animal Kingdom Lodge resort, and it was way out by itself. It was presented that way, at least in my mind, the way I read it. And also that it was a convention hotel, that unless you were in a suit and you were there for business, it was not your jam. And it could not be like, it's my place. Like I love that place. And I poo-pooed it for so long. And I'm like, man, I missed out on a decade of staying at Coronado. And I love this place. Scott, you're nodding your head. Did you ever feel that way?
I agree. Coronado? I had a resort. Resort is another one I regret. Not as long as like my Hoop-de-Doo, but like it's gonna sound, I am not bougie by any means. I'm just saying that right now. But like the values like scared me in my early days. Like we always stayed moderate because I was like, I don't know, the values seem like it's gonna be like a frat party going on and all this stuff. And so our first value was Pop Century, and I was like, oh my God, this place is pretty great. Why did we wait so long to stay at a value? And yeah, and now we like staying at Pop. It's not the biggest all-star fan, I will say, but like we waited a long time to go to a value, and it just kind of surprised me.
It is interesting when you look back. I mean, these kind of questions will kind of make you think about like, there are things. But when you think about the reasoning behind it, it's kind of funny, right? Because it's all about perception. And a lot of times those perceptions are just dead wrong.
Yeah, true.
Coronado is like the opposite of remote. It is like in a prime location when you think about it. It's just right there.
I know. It's the home home resort of the BOGP. Like I'm convinced.
It's like, marathon again. It's
and then like all our listeners love staying there, and like it's just, and it is centrally located. That's why, because I felt the same thing when you got the Magical Express bags. Oh man, that's a sad moment there. But when you got the mail with your tags, you get the yellow tag and the Mickey head. It would say AK in the middle
Yeah.
of that, and you were like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna be all the way out by Animal Kingdom."
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
you were in the center of property. You were
Yeah.
in World of Buena Vista. Like, it can't be a better location centrally. It's
I mean, why that is not a Hollywood Studios, or
because
literally
there's
you're
no such
across the
thing as a
street.
Hollywood Studio Resort, I
Right.
guess.
I mean,
But yeah.
you're literally across World Drive from the studios in Epcot. But anyway, that's not why we're here today. I mean, it is Black Friday. Like I said, when this show started back in 2008, we used to talk about people lining up to go grab a Nintendo Wii, spend the night outside for the latest iPhone, all that stuff. I mean, it was a bigger deal. Now, I mean, Black Friday deals have been going on for a month on Amazon and all that stuff. Use our link if you can. Shameless plug. But it's not as big a deal anymore. But still, it's fun when you're on your Disney vacation to kind of go to your favorite little shops. And of course, you got Disney Springs with World of Disney. You got World of Disney at Downtown Disney at Disneyland. I mean, those are kind of fun shops. They're kind of like the one shop meets all needs. But when I go shopping at both locations, I like to find those little bitty kind of out of the way resort places or places in the theme parks that just, for me, it's almost the theming. I don't always buy something, but I just like to kind of window shop sometimes. And because of that, I will pick up maybe a knickknack here and there. And that's kind of what we're thinking about today. Just shops that maybe are off your radar that maybe you want to consider on your next trip. So let's go ladies first. Rikki, what's a shop that you tend to really enjoy at one of these destinations?
So I actually really enjoy going to a shop in the Magic Kingdom, and it's actually Memento Mori. As a huge Haunted Mansion fan, Memento Mori, it has some of the most unique merchandise that you can find. It is strictly themed to Haunted Mansion, and it is some of the most eclectic stuff you'll see. You have some fun Haunted Mansion things. You have some kind of really spooky Haunted Mansion items. The range in just a huge number of different things. You can get nice collectible figurines. I've gotten dresses there. I've got, there's clothing options. There's magnets there. I mean, literally every piece of kind of merchandise that Disney makes, they make a Haunted Mansion version, and you can get it at Memento Mori. The shop itself is really cool. It's really themed. It's really well done. There are some hidden things. I don't know if they still happen while you're in the shop. I don't know if they've toned that down a little bit, but it was always fun when you'd see kind of some of the hidden things that they would end up doing in there. It's a really great theme. It's a really great shop. There's so much unique merchandise here, and my brother is a huge Haunted Mansion fan. His kitchen is actually kind of Haunted Mansion themed, and I almost always find something for him here. Something comes home with me at some point or another when I go to Memento Mori for sure.
Remember when back there, speaking of that shop, well, first of all, Kim used to work there.
She did.
Kim Taylor. She worked there. That was awesome. She used to love seeing Mallory there. But remember when they sold those pictures, you could get the portrait of yourself that was lenticular. I have one, and I take it out at Halloween, or when you walk past it, it turns into like a skeleton. It's a regular picture of you, but then when you walk past, then all of a sudden you're like, it freaks Mallory's friends out because I just lean it on a shelf. It's awesome. They should still, I don't know, and it was a great value. It was only like $18 or something. Dude, it's the best thing ever. I mean, it's I wish Disney would keep doing stuff like that. It's a great souvenir.
I missed that because Kim, that's the part she worked at, right? Was taking
these
photos.
Was the photos, yeah.
And it was sad when they removed that from the store. And I don't know if it made it too crowded, because it is very small in there.
It's a small cramped space.
So I don't know if that made it crowded, like the photo setup, but to me, that was honestly the highlight of that store. And you want to talk about Disney regrets? I regret that I don't have that photo. I want
True.
Because again, I mean, it's one real quick. I mean, just one of those things I can't believe Disney still does is those silhouettes right on Main Street.
Yeah.
It's old fashioned. It's something you can bring home. It's kind of unique. Anyway, that's nor here nor there. Okay, Scott, what do you got? Give us a story.
So I'm going to Epcot, and there's great shopping all around Epcot, but we're talking off the beaten path, and maybe it's not off the beaten path, but it kind of is to me because I don't feel like I see as many people there, and that is the shops in the UK. I just love the Toy Soldier and all those. I think they're super cute. The biggest thing for me is because I love UK things, and I love the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, all the the British invasion. So I love like going in there and buying like a Beatles shirt or whatever, which I mean, you can get anywhere, but it's just cool to buy at the UK shop, I think. And they just do some neat things there. And I remember once, I don't know if it's still there, but there was a person that they would sell these handbags that were like super cute, and they would just personalize them right there. I remember we were with Wade and Shelly got one trip, and it was just the cutest thing, and like it just felt like unique to that area because I think it was like some type of British type bag, and it was just awesome. And then I like that Winnie the Pooh is in there sometimes too, so you actually like kind of do a character meet while you're doing your shopping. And one of my favorite things about it is that there's like Epcot specific merchandise that you can kind of only get there. You can get like a Rose and Crown shirt, which I just think is like the coolest thing. I wish there was more like restaurant type shirts in World Showcase, right? Like I buy a Chefs de France shirt or whatever, but I just think I actually have a couple Rose and Crown t-shirts. I never wear t-shirts. I like to buy them, but I don't wear them. But I just love the specific theme park merchandise that you can see in the UK shops.
No, I agree. Whenever I see like theme park specific stuff, and especially resort stuff, I'm just like drawn to it. I don't always buy it, but especially like the polos and stuff. Because like I used to buy it when I was teaching because I wore polos every day for teaching, but now I sit at home, so I don't wear polos as much. But I'm like, oh, if I had a reason, I would buy those because I love seeing stuff that says like Polynesian or Contemporary or Wilderness Lodge. Just it's awesome. And like you say, if you have something for a restaurant, even like the more specific, the better. I know that it's limited in scope, but Scott, do you think that stuff just doesn't sell as much? I mean, because when you see it, you don't see it often, but I would think that it would sell. I mean,
you would think, but it's probably because we're diehards, right?
Yeah,
so like someone that's just going for the day, they just probably want to get an Epcot shirt. They're like Rose and Crown. What is this? What's this pub like in England or something? Like, no, it's actually right across the street.
Exactly.
And they do more Rose and Crown stuff too. That's the cool thing I love about it. They have like the pint glasses and all that stuff too. Like I like our audience here, like we soak that stuff up, right? I want like as more bizarre and detailed as possible to a specific thing I want, but I don't think the average guest necessarily wants that.
All right, so I'm going to hit the store over with Contemporary. Help me out here. It's 3 letters.
Stop! You're stealing mine, baby.
It's BV.
Yeah, BVG.
BVG,
Yeah.
not Belle Biv DeVoe. Motown, Philly. But that store is just awesome for a resort store. It's got it all. I mean, it's got great clothing. It's got home goods. It's got its own little snack shop. It's got a mini.
It's got a confectionery in there.
It does.
It's got baked goods. I mean, and it, the monorail's going over top. I mean, what do you want in a store? It's got it all. I mean, I can always find. I mean, dude, I could drop so much money in that store every time because I'm going to buy like a cake pop, like a a Rice Krispie treat, maybe a $80 shirt, maybe something for the house, like towels or something. I mean, dude, that store is dangerous if you have
it is very dangerous.
And then if you have kids, just right across the way, like in the middle there, they have like the toy store.
Fantasia gifts.
With all the toys for the kids. I mean, they nailed it at the Contemporary with shopping right there in that half a football field. I mean, dude, you're just done. It's
funny when you're up above and you look down and you're like, and then that's when you realize for me, like how long that gift shop is when you see it from like an aerial view. Like if you're boarding the monorail, you're just like, holy cow! Like no wonder why I get like a half a mile when I'm in that store.
Yeah, it's like a 50-yard shop. A couple
so long. I love it.
It's almost worth like hopping on the monorail from the Magic Kingdom just to get out of the madness, go over there and get a snack, maybe like for lunch, even go to Contempo Cafe and just get like something that's not fried, get a sandwich and some chips and have the snack there in that store, or the dessert there in that store and just do a little shopping. It's that good.
If ever like I am leaving the Magic Kingdom and I'm like, dang, I should have got a snack, at the end of the night, I will stop because usually I'll take the resort loop back to, the TTC. And so I will usually stop there and grab a snack at that snack shop because it is like a mini confectionery. They have so many great little options there. And I mean, it's I was totally gonna pick this one, so I hate that you stole it, but it's fine. I'll survive. Yep,
Well,
we all had it on
I
our
knew you
list.
both would go after that one. That's why I went first
Okay.
with that one because that is a good one. That's just, I mean, it's a solid and it's easy.
I just didn't think it was like off the beaten path. So I have some off the
not
beaten path, and
really,
I have
yeah.
like favorites too.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are definitely off the beaten path more, but it's easily accessible. All right, Rikki, give us another.
All right, well, I'm gonna steal, I think, one that's probably on all of our lists too, and that is Everything Pop at Disney's Pop
That's a good
Century
one.
Resort.
Yep.
I don't know what it is about this store. There's just something so.
It's because you go through it so much on a Pop
Yes.
Century stay. Like you'll see something and be like, that's cute, right? You'll see it on day
Yes.
one and be like, I kind of like that. And then day 3, you're like, I really do like that. Then day 5, you're buying it. That's exactly what it is in Everything Pop for me.
That's a dangerous thing to do, though.
It's Instagram ads, but in person is what it is.
You're not wrong.
You with repetition and you're buying it because you're like, I got to get this before I go home.
It could just be gone, though. We always say if you see it, buy it. But
yes,
yeah, true.
I feel like they have some different merchandise that you're not seeing everywhere else. The Pop Century merchandise is always really cute, so you've got that too. And it's just the collection of merch that they have at Everything Pop. Again, it's so different. It's so unique. It's a little bit of everything. That it doesn't like overwhelm. But it's just they have such great merchandise there, and it doesn't hurt that you have the smell of the food court, which just, I mean, that food court has a smell of its own that is incredible.
It smells like Disco Inferno.
It does, yes. So it's just seriously, I love Everything Pop, and I always on every trip have to take a lap, at least one around Everything Pop, if not multiple. So even though it's the same merchandise most of the time, I'm still taking multiple laps around Everything Pop.
Hot take: Pop might have one of the coolest resort logos of all.
Oh, for sure.
We should do a show on that. Draft the best logos for the resorts.
There you go.
We'll have to do that maybe in the new year. That'd be
draft. What, Mike?
Dude,
stop! No,
awesome. I would make that my headboard for my mini bed.
You would.
That is so cool. That's a headboard right there.
That is a headboard.
Or something. Okay, that'd be Riley's headboard for her little bitty bed if she was small. If she was like a Pomeranian or something. All right, I need.
So I'm not going to go off the beaten path here. I'm picking probably the greatest resort gift shop. No offense to Everything Pop. And it's not even at my home resort that I just showed here on air. I really think if you polled like Disney fans, they would all say this is the best one, and it's the Wilderness Lodge Mercantile.
Yeah,
that's not where I was going to think.
Earlier. That was actually on my mind earlier.
I know what you were thinking,
totem pole.
Rikki, what I was going to say, but yeah, so it's the totem pole, right?
Yes,
there's the totem pole.
Yes.
When there was a time, because I remember this very much, when there was a time at Walt Disney World where you could not find resort merchandise, you could find it here. They've always had it. And the totem pole you're talking about, Mike, that's outside the store, you can actually buy that like a souvenir, which I love. Like
I'm going to buy that to counter every time you throw up your old Key West side. I'm going to throw up a totem pole.
There you go. But I mean, so it's dark in there, right? I mean, it's not as like cheery, I would say, as Everything Pop, but
no,
it's just got this awesome wilderness feel, right? It's the Wilderness Lodge, and like it is just loaded with resort merchandise stuff, which I was just kind of talking about that I really like. But then you got your normal stuff, and then now that there's like DVC in there too, there's like a small little DVC section even, so you can get like your Boulder Ridge shirts or blankets or whatever you want there too. It's just, and maybe it's gone down a little bit, but like I just always think of it like this is the place that kept resort merchandise happening, and I think because of this resort is why we have it everywhere else. So I think the Wilderness Lodge Mercantile for that, because it gives us all these options at the other resorts.
It fits the resort perfectly. That resort has a lot of great merch, but it also just the aesthetic of it. Like you said, it is dark and it is kind of just chill. But that's the whole aesthetic of Wilderness Lodge. Like if it was Pop Century where you hear do the hustle, like it would work. I mean, it's perfect for it. Yeah. I do love, and I buy stuff there too that I don't need. Like these shops work. I come home.
Emily loves like Smokey the Bear. It was like when she was younger, I don't know what happened with that, and we've gotten her a Smokey the Bear shirt at that shop. So I mean, you can just find anything.
That's
it's
amazing.
So good.
That's
so good. All right, so my next one, I'm going to Disneyland, and it's the Disneyland Hotel Store.
Oh yes, that is a good one.
Oh man, they have great merch. They have that little like sundry store kind of outside of it, but just the main store there at the Disneyland Hotel. I don't get to Disneyland as often as I do World, so I tend to say like, okay, when I'm there, I got to get me a shirt that says Disneyland Hotel, and I get. I tend to buy a couple things there because, again, usually I go out there in January, so I have my gift cards from Christmas. That's what I always tell my family to get me gift cards. But I love that store. That store has great merch. And here's the thing: I shouldn't be saying this out loud, but I think the stuff at the Disneyland Hotel store is not terribly priced. I think it's decently priced. I don't know if it's different than World. I don't know. Because everybody says California is like, I know the gas out there is like crazy. Like when I'm in my Uber and we're driving to the, to Disneyland, I'm like, oh my, because I'm from Missouri, dude. Gas is way cheap here. I can't believe what people pay for gas out there and stuff. But the hotel, the prices in that store don't seem terrible.
Interesting take because you don't even get a discount there.
Right.
I know. And it's not hard. But again, maybe I'm just happy. Like Disneyland makes me happy. I'm telling you. I love Disneyland. It is the happiest place on earth. I don't know.
Yeah,
I love that store, though.
There's not much more I can add than what you already said. I'd love the Disneyland Resort specific merchandise. It's not like a broken record here. You and I have a matching T-shirt from there, actually.
Yep.
The flags. I love the Disneyland flags.
I do love being right here. That's why I bought this jacket because because I was like, which one should I get? Because there were like two different versions at the races last year, and I'm like. But I put that other one back because this one had the. I was like, dude, get me the one with the flags.
You're wearing the matching hat right now too.
I got the whole kit on right now. I'm like I should be like
Mr. Disneyland over here.
I am Mr. Disneyland right now.
It's a great pick.
It is. All right, thank you. All right, Rikki, give us one more. What you got?
All right, I feel like I'm going to take this one then, Scott. So I think I think I'm on the right. I'm on the right path.
It starts with a B, I believe.
It does. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right. So I'm gonna go over to the other greatest shop at one of the resorts, and that is Boutique at Polynesian.
Good
it is
so good.
It is by far such an amazing shop. There's so much here. You have so many different choices. Scott, talk about it for a second because that's it.
Yeah. So like. One thing though, so you get like all your like Aloha shirts there, right? So it's really themed to the resort, which I really like. So you can find like some Tommy Bahama shirts and all that. But then one thing that like I used to love over the years is like, because I'm a big like fan of the Duffy characters, Mike, as you know, and like they all like live in Hawaii now or Tokyo basically. But sometimes you'll see some Duffy characters come in there. They have this little section over there, and Rikki might be able to help with me. Like I forget the cute green turtle guy's name. He's the best. When she comes back, she'll chime in and say what his name is, I'm sure. But I just love that. And like Mike, do you remember there was a time where you could buy a pineapple from there and ship it to someone as a souvenir?
I have one. I bought one, but I bought it. I didn't buy it at that store. I bought it at Pirates, in the Magic Kingdom at that shop.
Oh yeah.
It was like a postcard. Like
that's a good shot.
It was a coconut.
Maybe it was a coconut. Okay.
Yeah, it was a coconut. What a pineapple. You're exactly right. It was a coconut, but I have it. It was like a postcard. Like I guess you could mail it, but I just bought it.
Yes. And this is Olu.
Olu, yes. I almost said Olaf, and we obviously know
that's different. Right. Yeah, I have one. Actually, this one's from Alani, but they do sell him at the Polynesian as well. So but yeah, sorry, I was dying. So sorry about that. But like Scott said, they have some really unique merchandise there. They have stuff that's actually from Hawaii as well, which is really cool. So they have like those Maui Max chocolates, which are really good. I've gotten those there before. They have a lot of Hawaiian inspired outfits there as well, which is really great. And honestly, the Polynesian merchandise that they have at the shop is top notch. It's really great. I've almost come home with a few things there from there before. I actually did come home. They had a 50th anniversary dress for the Polynesian. I did come home with that. I actually the 50th anniversary dress for the Contemporary as well. That both of those came home with me. But yeah, they have a really amazing merchandise at Boutique. It's just really fantastic. Again, we all seem to really like the merchandise that's unique And a lot of the times it's unique to that particular store or that particular resort, that particular area of the park, that kind of thing. So I feel like that's kind of the thing that Disney hits so well at these places, is they come up with some really unique merchandise that makes you go, oh my gosh, I have to have this. And that's the kind of stuff that comes home with us.
For sure. And like we haven't even hit on this. You guys can't see this, but I'm looking at a 50th anniversary Polynesian resort piece of art on my wall. So like these resorts have great art specific to them too. So it's just not the t-shirt or whatever. But so yeah, I mean, I just love that, right? There's so much stuff, the pins and all that. It just, if you love a resort, like just going to their gift shop, especially at the Polynesian, like you're just gonna overload. And you forgot to mention, I know this probably wouldn't have been on top of your radar, but for our Trader Sam's enthusiasts, you can always buy some Trader Sam's merch at the boutique as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's awesome. That's really cool.
So I want to throw something in here real quick. So I did mention the post Pirates shop. Again, that's just kind of trinkety, theme park stuff. There's not a lot there. Of course, you go in there, get your picture taken with a pirate hat and like a hook and a sword, stabbing somebody in your family. That's always good fun, or shackled up.
Of course.
It's basically what that store is for. But what I like about it's kind of the aesthetic of the store, right? It's kind of halfway out in the open, kind of half enclosed. Are you outside? Are you inside? But there's, people coming out screaming from the ride. Some kids loved it. Some people post up and scare people coming off the belt there. It's kind of fun. It's just, there's a lot of energy in that store, which is, it's neat. It's just it's definitely a Disney feel to it. Now here's a question I have for you guys too, kind of semi-related to this topic. I used to really, really love Ye Olde Christmas Shop. Ye Olde Christmas Shop was probably like my number one theme park store. It's kind of become a shell of itself over the last 5 years, maybe since COVID. I don't know, but it doesn't have as much variety in it as it used to. It still does. Like what I love is the novelty of going in a Christmas shop in June, July, right? And it's like, it's playing Christmas music. You smell the Christmassy smells. You see all the lights, because I'm a Christmas nut. I love Christmas, but it just seems like there's not as much as it used to be. It's the same thing for Disney Springs, right? Christmas over there. It just seems like they're not going as full bore as they used to. Is there a store that has trended in the wrong direction?
Oh, yeah.
What do you have, Rikki?
Yes, 100%.
Easy. You don't have to kill it. I mean, they can still bring you.
Don't hurt his feelings. Don't hurt his feelings now.
Yeah.
Totally
hard. It's the holidays, Rikki. Come on.
Sorry, it is the holidays. What was I thinking?
Oh my gosh, I was waiting for this.
Yeah, no. As soon as you started talking about this topic, I was like, there's definitely a store that I know that has gone the wrong direction. And it's actually World of Disney at Disney Springs.
Okay, well that's a hot one, because the pre like transformation or because I liked it better the old way.
I like it better the old way as well.
Yeah,
I like it better the old way as well. I feel like the new way is the new shop is so chaotic. I don't know where anything is. I can't find anything in that store. Like the sections are not like before. There were actual sections of the store. You could figure out, okay, this was the kids section.
It was like a department store for us.
It was like a department store.
It was like Famous Bar. Well, nobody.
Right, exactly. Yes. Nobody knows what Famous Bar is anymore. That's great. Good analogy there,
Macy's.
Mike.
Macy's.
So yeah, Macy's. But it had a distinct, even the rooms were themed distinctly,
yes.
Which helped you understand what each room was for. And I just feel like now, like I go in, they've taken all that down. It's pretty much wide open. Everything is just in your face. All you see is merch through as far as the eye can see when you go in that store. And it's just very overwhelming at this point. I walk in there and honestly, I kind of like peruse a little bit and then I walk out because I can't find anything in there that I really, that I really have to have, because it all just looks the same, because it's all just thrown up in your face there. Like, I don't know. The section for the holidays this year was fine. That was great because that was a section. I could go look at the Halloween stuff this past, fall, and I could easily find out where it was and see what I wanted or what I didn't want. And that was easy. But the way it is now, it's just, it's so chaotic. And I really wish they would go back to, even if they're not going to go back to the walls and just go back to the different sections and have it be more understandable that this section is for this particular purpose. I feel like that would be really
that. And I'm curious to hear what our listeners will say on this over the weekend, because like they were there for both versions, if you liked it the old way or how it is now, because I'm the same way. But my particular person, like I'm a buyer, I'm not a shopper. You know what I'm saying? I go in for like a mission. You go in that place like on a Friday night at Disney. Oh my, you're going to lose your life in there. It's crazy. It's chaotic.
You're not wrong.
You get a system like in the old store. Like I was told, because like Paige and Mallory, like at the time, both of them at some point were little, right? And I'm like, if you get lost, we're going to jewelry. Like,
yes,
jewelry was always the least crowded because it was the most expensive, and we always checked out in jewelry because
true.
You never wanted to check out in the like knickknacks because that's where everybody was going, because that's cheap stuff. You always checked out in jewelry because that's where the high rollers went, and there weren't as many high rollers. You had to think. And so I had a system for the old place. Scott, what was your take on World of Disney? Like pre or post? What do you like?
I would be pre for sure. And a problem is because they don't have like really like specific merchandise to like anything, and there's just all the generic stuff.
Yeah, I agree. The t-shirt.
There's a theme with me here. Yeah.
But I think that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. The shops that we really like, they all have specific themes, specific merchandise, specific things that you're looking for. Whereas this is just like, let's just literally throw everything we have in Walt Disney World in this one store with no discernment of where it's going. It's just all going in this one store. Good luck finding what you want.
And I always go to that like wall of t-shirts, whether it's in the Emporium or, Connections or sorry, Creations. I still can't get that right.
I know.
Or World of Disney, or because you know how they present the t-shirts now, which I think is pretty slick, right? So you don't have to like root through and dig.
It's like a Hot Topic way of finding shirts.
Well, I don't go to Hot Topic, but I mean, it's practical, right? I mean, you don't have to like. It's great for the workers, I'm sure, because you have to like dig. You know what I'm saying? You can like look and see. Okay, there's all the designs. But honestly, on that wall, probably 80% of them are usually like just the Fab Five characters and like the castle. Like this is exactly what Scott was saying. There's very, very few designs that are going to be specific to like Epcot or Hollywood Studios or Magic Kingdom. It's going to be mostly like, what's up, dog? And a picture of Pluto. Like, I don't want that. Like,
that's why that Disney style store at Disney Springs is much better, because they'll have like better branded stuff.
It has a specific
but I guess that stuff sells, like what's up, dog, with Pluto. I guess it's hilarious. I don't know. Anyway.
Like I did have one more off the beaten path.
Go ahead,
I gotta give it some love before we wrap up.
Yeah, let's go.
Because it's going away, unfortunately.
Oh.
I know, and it's in Dino Land. I'm going to the Dino. I'm going to the Dino Institute shop. So this is where you go to when you get off Dinosaur.
Oh, I wasn't going to say this one.
About that. Yeah.
Yes.
So there's one particular reason. I'll wrap it up with that reason why I got to give it some love. But it's a cool shop, right? You go in there and like we bought some interesting like Main Street Electrical Parade like stuff in there. That doesn't seem like it like aligns with Dinosaur at all. But why I'm sad that it's leaving is when you leave the store and you look to your left, there's these signs that are hanging that says, "When in Florida, be sure to visit Epcot." And I'm very sad that that's going to go away, because I've always loved that there's a piece of Epcot in Animal Kingdom with like the old Epcot logo.
Yep.
And it just bums me. I hope they do something with it if they put it somewhere else in Animal Kingdom. But that was always my favorite thing, to leave that shop, and they're doing some good shopping and all that, and you look up and there's an Epcot reference right there in Dino Land in Animal Kingdom. It was the best.
That is good.
I hope they preserve that too.
Yeah, that is good.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that will be a relic here soon, and we have it here, that we talked about it just to remember it. But also that store particularly had a very unique selection of items. Like you would find random stuff there, like board games and like,
it wasn't necessarily like dinosaur stuff. Like,
it's
like those jackets that we put on at the Swan and Dolphin, like they were there too. Yeah,
a big old jacket, like in the summertime. I mean, it was really a random collection. You never knew what you're going to find in that store. It was just random stuff.
I'm gonna miss it.
I thought you were going to say Chester and Hester's. I thought that was going to be yours.
Oh, yeah.
Which is also another eclectic like they have such eclectic merchandise in that store as well. That's actually where so the last time, I'm going to miss it because we picked up Lucy. Brian is a big fan of Stitch. Like he loves Stitch. Don't know why. But he absolutely, I mean, I know that a lot of people love Stitch, but he was, you know, in his 20s when the movie came out. So it's not like he like attached himself to the movie like as a kid or anything. So but he loves Stitch. And so Stitch has a girlfriend named Angel, and he saw Angel in the shop as a plush, and he immediately beeline for it and bought that for Lucy for her. And now that's like one of her favorite stuffed animals is her Angel. So I'll miss that store just because I have the memory now of buying her that, you know, that Angel plush that she loves so much at Chester and Hester's, which, you know, is kind of silly, but it's still, you know, kind of a special thing for us. So I thought you were going with Chester and Hester's, which is really good.
It's a shame. I mean, Dino Land, I mean, if this new land's going to be amazing, but
it is.
we have the memories.
Yeah.
It was unique. So anything else for the cause before we get out of here for the weekend? Holiday weekend.
I think that's good.
Now I'm ready to do some shopping.
I know, right? Hey, guess what? We'll be down there. We can go shopping this weekend.
That's right.
You'll
find me at the Dino Institute tonight.
Exactly. Looking for merch.
And I will be following you at Epscott, EPSCOT on the socials. And I'll be following Rikki at Rikki Nibs, RIKKI and IBS. And you should all be doing the same. And just follow me at Be Our Guest Mike, because I'll be retweeting all the good leftovers that I'll be having. It'll be great. So follow me as well. That's where we are in the socials. And of course, Scott's at Must See Adventures on YouTube, and Ricky's at DisneyWorldAfterall.com. So check out all that. Don't forget, our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. I will be standing by all weekend. I work all the time. So if you want to plan a great Disney vacation, Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, even Adventures by Disney, no cost to you. My services are absolutely free. So come on over to the website and just put in a quote over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link as you get all those Black Friday deals. Please bookmark it. Just put it on your that toolbar right there at the top. Click it every time you shop. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. It really does help us out each time. When you click it, it just takes you right back to Amazon. You don't even notice it. Thank you for doing that. And also patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. When you join us over there, it's just $5 a month. It's like a couple of burgers a month. And you really do support us, and you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. Thank you to everybody who does support us. We're grateful for that. So very thankful. And if you do that, it really does help us. So again, beourguestpodcast.com/ or patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Everything. I can't keep track of which way it goes. Also this Sunday night, I'll be flying solo, but you guys are going to be the co-hosts. Give us a call, 7:00 Eastern, 6:00 Central. It's the BOGP open line, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Let's talk Disney. All right, time to get out of here and wish you a great weekend. Have fun. Enjoy the leftovers, and we'll talk to you Sunday. So for Scott and Rikki, I'm Mike, wishing you a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Boom. That's fun.
Yay.
Yeah, we filled a lot of time talking about stores.
We did.
Those are good stories, though. That was fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys have a blast.
Thanks, man.
All right. Scott, I'll see you down there.
I'll see you down there, Rikki.
I will be
Safe travels.
You too. Yes.
Thanks.
You guys be
All
careful.
right.
I'll
see you guys.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. See ya. Edited. Do, 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 do.